Hey everyone, so we're diving into the latest from the Next AI newsletter, and honestly, there's one massive theme that just jumps out. It's this incredible race, right? On one side, you have absolutely mind-blowing innovation, and on the other, this desperate scramble to put some guardrails in place. And that tension, that's where everything interesting is happening.
Okay, so check this out. This slide lays it out perfectly. In one corner, you've got this just breakneck pace of innovation. We're talking generative video, truly autonomous agents, insane 3D editing tools. But then, in the other corner, the brakes are being slammed on. You have the EU AI Act, massive data privacy scandals blowing up, and this huge push for ethical frameworks. It's a total tug of war, and you better believe it, it's shaping who wins and who loses in this market. All right, first up, AI hits the streets. And we mean that literally. This isn't just some abstract lab stuff anymore. We're going to see how it's showing up everywhere, from huge global policies all the way down to the browser you're probably using right now. So you've probably heard a lot about the EU AI Act. Well, the big deal now is that they're moving from just talking to actually doing. They're setting up these sandboxes, which are basically controlled testing grounds. Think of it like a playpen for new AI systems. It's a huge move by world power to say, okay, let's figure out what this stuff actually does before we let it run wild. And this really brings it home. We're not just talking about some far-off sci-fi risk. This is happening right now. UNESCO is raising a huge red flag about AI being used as a weapon, specifically to target women journalists. This isn't a what-if scenario. It's real-world harm, and it puts incredible pressure on everyone to figure this out, fast. And then you get a headline like this. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. The very browser extensions that were sold to you with the promise of privacy were caught selling millions of users' private AI chats. Talk about a betrayal of trust. How are regular people supposed to feel safe adopting this tech when the so-called watchdogs are the ones selling their data? It's a huge problem. But on the flip side of all that risk, the innovation train is just not stopping. And it's getting really practical. We're seeing these super focused tools pop up, like an AI agent that handles e-signatures for you right inside Microsoft Teams. Or for the tech folks out there, a new dashboard to juggle all the different AI command lines they're using. These are real, tangible tools that solve everyday problems and just keep pushing the whole field forward. Okay, so that's what's happening out in the world. But what's the deep tech that's actually making it all possible? Let's go inside the research lab and decode the breakthroughs that are really driving this future. All right, to really get what's coming next in generative AI, you gotta wrap your head around this one idea, the visual tokenizer. It sounds complicated, but the concept is pretty straightforward. You know how a language model like ChatGPT breaks a sentence down into little pieces, or tokens? Well, a visual tokenizer does the exact same thing, but for an image. It breaks a picture down into its core ideas, its essential bits and pieces. Now, here's the crazy part, the real breakthrough. Researchers discovered something totally counterintuitive. They found that if they made the tokenizer less perfect at rebuilding the original image pixel by pixel, the AI actually got better at creating new, high-quality, realistic stuff. It's like by not being so obsessed with perfect memory, it unlocked the AI's creativity. Being a little fuzzy on the details made it a better artist. How cool is that? And check this out. This shows where they're trying to take this. It's called the do-undo task. So you tell the AI to, say, open the drawer in a picture. Easy enough. But then the real test is, can it figure out how to reverse that action? Can it generate the command, close the drawer, and show what that looks like? It's a brilliant way to teach an AI about cause and effect, about actions having consequences. This is a massive step towards AI that can actually reason about the physical world. So when you look across a bunch of the latest research papers, you start to see a really clear trend. Whether it's using 3D geometry to get way better at spotting deepfakes, or giving AI agents a more human-like memory, or even just making sure a medical AI doesn't freak out when an image is a little blurry, it's all pointing in one direction. The big push right now is to make AI tougher, more reliable, and something we can actually trust. All right, let's zoom back out. From the lab to the boardroom. How does all this cool research turn into cold, hard cash and market power? Let's talk about big tech's power plays. So let's look at NVIDIA. We all know they're the undisputed king of AI chips. They basically make the engines for this entire revolution. Well, they just bought a company called SchedMD. Now that might not sound like a huge deal, but SchedMD makes the software that organizes and manages all the massive computing jobs that run on NVIDIA's chips. This isn't just a random purchase. It's a major chess move.
So that begs the obvious question, right? Why would the company that makes all the hardware suddenly buy a company that just manages the software? What's their play here?
The answer is simple. It's about owning the entire stack. Look, during a gold rush, it's great to sell the shovels. NVIDIA's been doing that. But the real power, it comes from owning the entire operating system for the mine. By controlling the software that manages the workloads, they're not just selling the hardware anymore. They're dictating how the work gets done. That is a whole new level of market control. And while the giants are consolidating power, you've got new startups commercializing these capabilities at lightning speed. Take this one, a venture literally building a see something, say something AI for every camera. So we're talking about turning every security camera into a proactive surveillance agent. And boom, just like that, we're right back to that central conflict, facing a whole new wave of ethical nightmares.
So where does all this leave us? Well, it brings us right to the main event, the Great Balancing Act. It's all about trying to navigate this massive gap between progress and, well, being careful. And when you actually look at it like this, the picture becomes crystal clear. It's not even a close race. The pace of innovation is just off the charts. It's explosive. And the pace of regulation and our ability to manage it, it's crawling along in comparison. That huge gap you see between those two bars, that's where everything is happening. That's where all the risk and all the opportunity lives right now. Which, of course, leaves us with the one big question we all have to think about. We know the AI is learning at an exponential rate. The real question is, are we? Is our collective wisdom, our ability to make good choices, keeping up? And honestly, that's the question that will define everything that comes next.